Today is a day of mixed emotions. The video title does not lie. We are in fact picking up a new van, but that does mean saying goodbye to the beloved Delica. Now, I'm sure many people watching this video have been through this, where you have to part with something that you've grown attached to, something that you've loved, and something that at one point in time you promised you were going to keep forever. The first part of this video is genuinely going to be painful. Now, Deli is an outstanding vehicle. He has taken me all over the world and never not once let me down. However, he does need a bit of work doing, a new exhaust, some drop links and some general maintenance, none of which are an issue at all, apart from the fact that recently I have been thinking about other vans.
A van where I don't have to play Tetris every time I want something from a cupboard. A van that when it rains, I have somewhere to hang my soaking wet jacket and clothes. A van that does more than 18 miles to the gallon. A van that I can insulate properly for really cold temperatures. This van, honestly, is freezing. Big windows and no insulation. And a van where the diesel heater doesn't trigger the carbon monoxide alarm. That only happened once due to a poor install by myself. But once it happens once, you are forever paranoid.
Now, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, this van truly is one of a kind, and it can quite literally go anywhere.
But you know what they say? Oh, a change is as good as a rest. Oh, and I think this is the natural progression. Oh, we've had some really good times. Really good times. Now, don't worry. Every single thing that I've taken out of this van, I'm going to try and reuse it where possible. That's the plan. So we'll be recycling and upcycling a lot of what was in here. Not everything, but a lot.
Well, today's weather is certainly fitting for the somber mood of today. The last ever drive in Delhi, stripped bare, a shadow of his former self. And it's sad, I'm gonna miss him. We've had some amazing times together, and it really is hard to say goodbye. But don't worry, he's not going to the farm in the sky. No. He's going home. So the van has come full circle back to adventure motor vehicles in Carnforth, and honestly, I can think of no better place to bring this vehicle.
Edward and his team at AMV are going to bring this vehicle back from what is already an incredible van to a showroom-ready adventure vehicle.
Now, this might feel like a bit of an advert, a bit of a promo for AMV, but I promise you it's not. I'm unashamedly promoting this place because obviously it's a family-run business, excellent service. They know exactly what they're doing with Delicas, they've been dealing in them for years. But most importantly, I want this van to live on. I want somebody watching this video to get in touch with Edward, I'll leave his details below, and to inquire about this vehicle, because I will feel so good if I know that this is going to a good home and continuing on adventurous journeys.
So for my next van, which I'll be collecting shortly, it was tempting to go with another Japanese import like a new Delica D5 or even this crazy adventure micro vehicle.
So imported straight from Japan, this K-Truck, it's like a miniature flatbed. It's tiny, but look at it. It's got awesome little off-road tires. It's got this sort of Raptor-lined truck at the back. At the minute, it's got some camping gear on. It has an awning attached to this fantastic looking roof rack, like this adventure rack that you could put anything up there. I'm thinking rooftop tent. So rooftop tent up there, and then in the back you could put like a little pull-out kitchen area, and then with your awning, this can be your camping area as it's set up here. It would be one of the most unique vehicles on the road, and I think that is cool.
Thank you very much.
And just like that, Delica has gone.
But Delica will live on, so please get in touch with Edward if you think you might be interested. Now, it is time to
to go and collect what will be the new landscape photography adventure mobile. I'm nervous, I genuinely am quite terrified, and a big part of me is worried that I've made a terrible mistake and will regret everything this video going forward. But there is only one way to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to go on a bit of a journey to a little town called Wigan. But before we do that, I just need to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. Now I'm sure most of you know who Squarespace are. They're an all-in-one website building platform, and they're really great for anybody who needs a professional website but has no understanding or knowledge of how to create such a thing. People with no web building or coding or programming experience, Squarespace is just genius. You can use their drag and drop system, it's intuitive, it's easy, and you can have a beautiful website that does everything you expect of a modern day website. Obviously, register your own domain, have a beautiful online gallery. This is a photography channel, so it's always good for photographers. You can have your own members area, and in fact, you can have a plethora of things. There's even AI to help you with your design and your copy. Go to squarespace.com/Heaton and you'll get a free trial. If you like the free trial, use the offer code Heaton for 10% off your first purchase. And with that being said, it's time to get a train.
Now, the first decision I had to make regarding the new van was size. Do I go big or do I go small? And there are definitely advantages to both. All right, welcome to Wigan, everybody. Now, speaking about large vans versus small vans, I know the benefit of a small van. I've had 2 small vans now, and they're incredible. You can park them anywhere, they're cheap to run, easy to build, cheaper to buy. But as I'm getting older, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a van I could stand up in, a van with a fixed double bed and more space for my gear, not having to play Tetris every single time I want to access any item. Now, there are many reasons why for the past 8 years I've avoided big vans. One is they're difficult to store in terms of you need to have a bit of space, they're difficult to park. Generally speaking, they're more expensive and cost more to run, and possibly, although I have no experience, more difficult to build out and turn into a camper. And the roads in the UK, especially where I go in the Lake District and in Scotland, having a big van and those single track lanes, that makes me nervous. Hence why I've always gone with a smaller van. I do like a small van, it's undeniable. Now, there again, another huge debate. Is it worth getting 4-wheel drive, especially here in the UK where all of the roads are paved? Now, for me, I went back and forth in my mind so many times. Do I want 4-wheel drive? Which there's always compromises. Generally speaking, the internal space of a 4-wheel drive vehicle is smaller because of that drivetrain that drives the front and the rear wheels. They're definitely more expensive to run in terms of fuel economy, and for 99% of the time, you do not need 4-wheel drive, here in the UK anyway. But the thing is, when you need it, that 1% of the time, you really wish you had it. You see, for me, I'm a landscape photographer and I absolutely love photographing in those difficult conditions, mainly snow. So if it's snowing quite heavily, say in Scotland, or if I go further north into Europe, that is when you need 4-wheel drive. And what I don't ever want is to be in a situation where it's snowing and I don't have the confidence to push on, go forwards to get those beautiful images. That's my personal argument for having 4-wheel drive. For that 1% of the time, possibly 3% of the time, when you really wish you had it. So there's 2 decisions so far that I've had to make when looking at a new vehicle to replace my beloved Delica. Do I go large or do I remain small? Do I go 2-wheel drive or remain 4-wheel drive? The final decision that I had to make was whether to buy new or used. Hang on, the audio's gonna be terrible. They're doing so. Apologies for that. They were cutting up the road with an angle grinder. It's the loudest thing I've ever heard. Yes, so where was I? Do I buy used or do I buy new? Now that comes back to the confidence thing. I mentioned before about the confidence, having 4-wheel drive, being able to push forward in difficult conditions. And for me, I think if I had a new van, then I would have so much more confidence, even though strictly speaking, that's probably not true, because I know that new vehicles are just shocking these days. We won't go into that. But knowing the history of the vehicle and having that ownership from new is a huge advantage. But then again, buying used is a massive advantage because you make a huge saving. They're so much cheaper, but you just don't know the history of the vehicle, you don't know what's been done to it. So those were the decisions, big or small, 4x4 or two-wheel drive, old or new. Let's go and have a look at what I've purchased. So we've got some lovely vans here. We've got some of the Transit Customs, which if you're a long-term OG viewer of the channel, you know that I had a custom camper van for quite some time before switching to the Delica. But look at this, we've got this larger Ford Transit, the high roof one. Tell you what, I bet you there's plenty of room to stand up in there. And here we have another high roof Transit. Beautiful grey colour. Oh, that's nice. Of course, I could have gone for something sporty looking, like one of these Customs in orange or with the Go Faster stripes on the back, but I think you'll know that's not me. So, I can't drag this out any longer. I can't do it. Let's just go and have a look at what we've got. All right, I can tell you, I have not purchased a Ford. I have not purchased a VW, although a lot of people would argue I have purchased a VW because I have bought myself a MAN TGE. It has a high roof, so I can stand up in it. It has four-wheel drive, so I can get to those difficult to reach places. And it's new, kind of. It's about 8 months old with delivery miles. And it is one of these two vehicles. We have a medium wheelbase, and then that one there is a long wheelbase. Of course, I went for the medium wheelbase MAN TGE 180.
So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, what will be the new camper van here on the channel. This is truly a dream vehicle of mine, and it's a fantastic spec. As you will see, the dealer even included these very attractive alloy wheels and the highly reputable BFG Goodrich all-terrain tyres.
It's a medium wheelbase high top, so it's long, but it's not that long, and it's high, but it's not, it's quite high, which unfortunately doesn't translate to inside, as you'll see in a moment. But the length of it is 6 meters, which is it's just perfect. I think that's the sweet spot for a larger van. So another reason why I bought this vehicle is because of the trim level. It's a Lion XC, which you'll see more of when we go inside. Now the dealer did a great job with this van, putting lots of cool extras on, like the tires and the wheels and numerous other things, some of which I like, some of which I'm unsure of, like these kind of Halfords-esque light covers. I'm not sure they'll be staying. But things that will be staying are these cool mud flaps here, rally flaps, and these wheel arches. These make it look so much more beefy and off-roady. The bonnet protector protects the bonnet from stone chips, and I think it looks the part as well. The dealer also fitted this front splitter. I'm unsure, I think it looks cool, but you do lose a little bit of ground clearance at the front, which I think for a 4x4 vehicle, that should be maximised. So I might keep this, I might take it off, I'm not sure. Another thing that was added to this van was these rock sliders on both sides, obviously on both sides. You wouldn't fit them to one side, but these are, again, a massive savings. This is something I would have added, and these are not cheap, so that has saved me a job and more cash. At the top of the rear doors, either side of the reversing camera, are these two spoilers. Again, unsure about those. Might keep them, might take them off. I don't know, along with these, unsure. Now moving inside of the vehicle, well, I have to say, it's very nice in here. It drives like a car and it has all the creature comforts, including heated steering wheel, heated seats, wireless Apple CarPlay, cruise control, and most importantly, if you ask me, and one reason why I don't like modern cars, it has physical buttons for everything that you need. And of course, it has an automatic gearbox. Now, on the run up here from Wigan, which was about 200 miles. I got about 27.5 miles to the gallon, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest, considering it's an empty van. But I did drive spiritedly, shall we say. I didn't hold back. I wasn't doing a economy run. I was trying to get home and give the vehicle a good run for its money. Now, there's a big long list of reasons why I chose this van, as I've already mentioned, but in particular it was the spec. A lot of people call this the camper spec. For example, when you open this side door, it stops halfway, giving you a narrow entrance into the van. Or, if you want, you can open it all the way. As you can see, there is no bulkhead. This has been removed and it's all been trimmed up nicely where the bulkhead once was. Now, from factory, this van came with 2 captain chairs and they both swivel to create lovely seating, for which we can enjoy, well, whatever it is we want to enjoy. Now, one of my main hesitations when it came to the 4-wheel drive model of this vehicle is you lose 10 centimeters of internal ceiling space or internal height, making it incredibly tight to the point where I wasn't sure I would actually be able to stand up in this van. And well, that would sort of defeat the whole purpose of moving to a bigger vehicle. Now, bear in mind, I'm just over 5'11", maybe 6 foot with shoes on. And this floor that's in, the factory floor, is well over an inch thick. Not a problem. I can stand up quite comfortably, and I have worked out my flooring already, and we're gonna lose at least ½ an inch to what's already on here, so it's gonna be much lower. And as you can see, we have just enough headroom, comfortable headroom, and I've still got my shoes on. So my fears of not being able to stand up, they are no longer a concern. It's still gonna be tight, don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be quite tight, but I think it's gonna be fine. Yes, we're not gonna have to do star jumps, but we are gonna have no problem getting changed, cooking food, and stretching out in the van. I cannot wait to get this build started. And actually, we're gonna go for a little drive and meet a friend of mine, and you'll get an idea of what could be with this van. A real dream adventure vehicle. Something I've wanted ever since I was a teenager. Something I honestly never thought I could achieve or could afford, but with saving lots of money, selling a few things, shuffling some money around, well, we've landed here. And I could not be more thrilled and terrified at the same time. Anyway, let me go and show you a finished version of this vehicle. Oh, whoa, I think I can see it. Oh my God, look at this adventure rig that we are coming upon now. Well, that's what mine could look like. We haven't got a name yet, but wow, that thing looks incredible. This chap's called Mark, by the way. His YouTube channel and Instagram is called Man Not Found, but look at this. Hi mate. How are we doing? Oh, good, how are you? So this is Mark from Man Not Found, that's his YouTube channel and Instagram. But look at this. Is this not the coolest thing you have ever seen? And this is going to give you some indication of where mine could potentially go. I'm undecided as to how far I'm going to take it, but this is a thing of beauty. We're not going to do a full van tour, don't worry, just a quick look around. I mean, there is a lot to look at here. And the inside, well, he's done a fantastic job. In fact, he has a full van tour on YouTube, so I would highly recommend doing that. I'll link to it below, actually. But yeah, he's done a sterling job kitting this out, did it all himself, which is nice, so now I can message him, getting advice and asking questions. Well, that's everything. That's the new van. I'm very excited. As I mentioned, I'm apprehensive, but join me next week because we are not hanging around. We are going to absolutely dive straight into the build. We're not dragging this out. Join me next week and we are going to get a lot done.